Welcome back to Narrations. Tonight's movie is magical, clever, heartwarming, and deeply emotional. A story about the true spirit of Christmas, about believing every child matters, and discovering that sometimes the person with the biggest heart is the one nobody notices. This is Arthur Christmas, the extraordinary journey of a boy who refuses to let even one child be forgotten. High above the earth, wrapped in northern lights and swirling snow, stands the legendary North Pole. Not the quaint wooden workshop we imagine, but a massive, state-of-the-art command center floating beneath the aurora. For generations, the Christmas operation has been perfected, modernized, and optimized into a military-grade global mission of precision. Inside the enormous S-1 command ship, sleek, silent, and glowing with high-tech brilliance, hundreds of elves move with lightning efficiency. Surveillance screens flash across continents, chimneys glow on holographic maps, and millions of presents fly through conveyor belts at astonishing speed. Christmas is no longer delivered by a single sleigh. It is an elite operation led by Steve, the current Santa's eldest son. Steve strides through the control room with crisp confidence, wearing a red tactical suit lined with glowing stripes. He is proud, logical, and obsessed with perfection. Every detail of Christmas is measured, calculated, and executed like a coordinated global strike. Under his watch, the elves rappel into homes with stealth equipment, deliver gifts silently, and vanish like shadows before anyone wakes. At the center of it all is Malcolm, the current Santa Claus, cheerful but aging, smiling broadly as he waves to elves and takes staged photos. But behind the warm exterior, Santa no longer truly leads the mission. He is more mascot than commander, basking in applause while Steve handles every real responsibility. Down in the mail department, a dusty maze of overflowing letters and chaotic bins, sits Arthur, Santa's youngest son. Arthur is wide-eyed, clumsy, incredibly kind, and overflowing with pure childlike wonder. He believes with all his heart in the magic of Christmas and answers every letter personally. While Steve manages operations with cold efficiency, Arthur keeps the spirit alive with warmth and love. Christmas night passes with breathtaking success. The elves deliver billions of gifts in near-perfect coordination, billions minus one. As the S-1 returns to the North Pole, elves cheer, Santa poses for photos, Steve updates statistics, and Arthur glows with pride. The mission is declared flawless. But in the quiet after the celebrations, down in the mail room, Arthur notices something glowing in the corner. A bright red bicycle, sparkling with ribbons, the gift meant for a little girl named Gwen Hines. It was never delivered. Her present was left behind. Arthur freezes, staring at the single forgotten gift. His heart tightens. While the world celebrates, one child will wake up believing Santa never came. Arthur races to Steve, breathless and panicking, trying to explain the mistake. Steve barely glances at him. One missed gift out of billions is statistically insignificant. The system performed brilliantly. It's just one child, Steve says, shrugging it off. But to Arthur, it is everything. He imagines Gwen waking up in the dim morning light, running to the tree with hope glowing in her eyes, only to find nothing. The heartbreak feels unbearable. Arthur tries again to convince them, Steve, Santa, the elves, but everyone dismisses him. Santa is heading into retirement mode. Steve is focused on efficiency. The elves are celebrating a perfect mission. Only one person hears Arthur's trembling concern, Grand Santa, the retired old Santa who once flew the traditional wooden sleigh pulled by reindeer. He is grumpy, mischievous, stubborn, and fiercely proud of the old ways. To him, the S-1 ship is an insult to tradition, a soulless machine without heart. When Arthur confesses the undelivered gift, Grand Santa's eyes sparkle with rebellion. Back in my day, we never left a child behind, he mutters. Arthur's heart leaps with hope. Together they hatch a wild, impossible plan. They will deliver the gift themselves. Tonight. No matter what it takes. In a hidden chamber deep beneath the North Pole, they uncover the old wooden sleigh, Evie, dust-covered but glorious, her bells still shining faintly. The reindeer, long retired, shuffle into place, snorting and stamping with excitement. Grand Santa cackles with delight as he dusts off his ancient coat. Arthur hesitates, trembling with fear and awe, but his heart ignites with determination. If the world moves too fast for magic, he will bring magic back. He climbs into the sleigh beside Grand Santa, clutching Gwen's present tightly to his chest. Evie shakes, glows, and rises into the sky. They are off, soaring into the night, carried by glitter, stardust, and stubborn hope. But the old sleigh is not built for the modern world. It wobbles dangerously. It drifts wildly off course. It crashes into satellite signals, plummets toward treetops, and nearly collides with a passing aircraft. The navigation is outdated, the reindeer are rusty, and Arthur's panic grows with every shaking jump in the sky. Still, he refuses to turn back. Because somewhere in England, a little girl named Gwen sleeps with hope in her heart. And Arthur is not going to let her down. But as they streak across the sky, their flight triggers global radar systems, military alerts, and misidentifications across continents. The world thinks a UFO is invading. Governments panic. News stations flare with reports. Entire defense units mobilize. Arthur's mission has begun, but so has the chaos. And as they finally crash land in the wrong part of the world altogether, Arthur's greatest adventure is only just beginning. The sleigh skids violently across snowy ground, sliding through darkness until it crashes into a frozen field somewhere far from where they intended to land. Arthur tumbles out into the snow, dazed but determined, clutching Gwen's gift tightly as Grand Santa triumphantly declares that everything is going exactly according to plan. It absolutely is not. They have landed in the wrong country, not England, not even close. Before Arthur can recover, the sleigh spooks a herd of animals, sets off alarms, and draws the attention of confused locals who mistake them for invaders. They scramble back into the sleigh, hearts pounding as Evie lurches into the sky once more, swaying dangerously in the wind. But the world is watching. Radar systems across continents detect an unidentified flying object. Fighter jets scramble. Sirens scream in cities. News broadcasts show blurred images of reindeer silhouettes streaking through the sky. Children everywhere gasp in wonder as adults panic. Meanwhile, back at the North Pole, Steve realizes something is wrong. When the elves track the sleigh's course, they discover the old vehicle has been launched, and Arthur is missing. Steve is furious. Santa is confused. The operation spirals into dysfunction as Steve prioritizes protecting the S1's reputation over saving Gwen's Christmas. But Arthur does not care about pride or protocol. He only cares about one child. Grand Santa, thrilled to be back in action, begins steering wildly off course in an attempt to prove the old ways are better. But Arthur sees the truth. Grand Santa is no longer capable of leading this mission. His nostalgia blinds him. He is not trying to save Gwen, he is trying to relive his past. After a disastrous landing in Africa, where they nearly cause a wildlife stampede, Arthur confronts him. His voice shakes, but his resolve does not. This isn't about you. It's about Gwen. It's her Christmas. Grand Santa bristles, hurt and stubborn, but deep down he knows Arthur is right. The old sleigh was never meant to carry the weight of this mission alone. Meanwhile, Steve launches the massive S1 to intercept Arthur, determined to reclaim control and complete the mission with precision. But his reason is impure. He wants to prove he deserves to be the next Santa, and delivering the gift is his ticket to the title. Santa himself is caught in the middle, overwhelmed by years of tradition, responsibility, and doubt. He has forgotten why he became Santa in the first place. As dawn approaches, Arthur, Grand Santa, the reindeer, and a loyal elf named Bryony, a brilliant gift wrapper with unmatched determination, crash land once again, this time painfully close to Gwen's town. The sleigh breaks apart entirely, leaving them stranded with no magic transportation. But Arthur refuses to give up. They run. They jump fences. They trudge through snow and mud. They limp down dark roads as morning light creeps across the sky. The gift remains clutched in Arthur's hands like a lifeline. Arthur's coat tears. His glasses crack. His face is scraped. His legs shake. But he never stops moving. Because he knows one thing with absolute certainty: if even one child wakes up believing Santa forgot them, then Christmas loses its meaning. At the last possible moment, the S1 descends from the clouds in a blaze of lights. Steve steps out triumphantly, Santa beside him, ready to reclaim the mission. But when they arrive at Gwen's house, something unexpected happens. All three Santas, Steve, Malcolm, and Arthur, freeze before the little home glowing faintly in the early morning snow. The gift in Arthur's hands still shines with hope. But Steve insists on taking it from him to complete the mission himself. Arthur hesitates, eyes filling with emotion. Then Gwen's sweet voice echoes from the window as she wakes up, whispering with hope. "I wonder if Santa came." Arthur looks down at the gift, at his scraped knees, at the miles he crossed, at the courage he found, at the pure love in his heart. And suddenly everyone sees it clearly: Arthur is the only one who truly understands what Christmas means. Santa Malcolm steps forward slowly, tears in his eyes, and places a gentle hand on Arthur's shoulder. "Arthur, you should do it." Steve is stunned. But he sees the truth too. All his precision, his technology, his perfect planning, none of it matters without heart. And Arthur's heart beats with more Christmas spirit than anyone alive. Arthur walks to Gwen's living room with trembling hands. He places the bike beneath her tree, straightens it carefully, and smiles at the simple beauty of a magical moment made real. He completes the mission. Outside, Gwen runs out onto the porch moments later, shrieking with joy at her new bicycle, believing with all her heart that Santa never forgot her. And across the world, the magic strengthens, not because of the gift, but because one person cared enough to make sure she mattered. When they return to the North Pole, the elves gather silently, waiting to see who will be chosen as the next Santa. Steve stands tall, ready to accept the honor he has chased for years. But Santa Malcolm looks at Arthur, at the boy who traveled the world with nothing but love as his guide. He smiles softly and declares, "Arthur is the new Santa." The elves erupt in cheers. Steve stares for a moment, hurt, confused, but then he smiles too, realizing he is better suited for operations than the title. The family embraces, finally united. Arthur is given the red coat. The sleigh is rebuilt with modern brilliance and old magic combined. Reindeer stomp proudly in the snow. The elves cheer as Arthur climbs into the sleigh, eyes wide with wonder and joy. He looks around at the world from high in the sky, heart full, spirit glowing brighter than the stars. And with the purest voice a Santa has ever spoken, he calls out, "Merry Christmas, everyone!" The sleigh soars into the sky, a golden streak across dawn, powered by love, courage, and the belief that every child, every single one, deserves to feel seen, remembered, cherished. Arthur Christmas becomes the Santa the world always needed. And Christmas, once again, is saved by the one who believed the most. If you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations, where Christmas stories come alive with heart, magic, and cinematic storytelling.